Time for another package unboxing. I thought about doing a bit of a different angle today. Hope you enjoyed up there on the grip of the window. That's where you're hanging right now. I got a box from, I think, United Games GmbH, a German company, German publisher, but rather well known internationally as ININ. ININ is their publishing arm. They're also the people behind Strictly Limited Games, which is quite controversial. And overall, they're bringing over a lot of very cool and niche games, not always in the best way. So we'll talk about that a bit later. So I got 3 games during Gamescom here in Germany. They had a sale going on with some of the games I have been after for a while. Never wanted to pull the trigger on, but I finally got them. 3 games from ININ for relatively cheap. Let's go up in price. And let's start with the cheapest. And actually the reason I got this package in the end, and that is Wonder Boy Usher in Monsterland. Monster World. Usher in Monster World. Man, the Wonder Boy series, crazy when it comes to naming. So this is the remake of Wonder Boy 6. No, it was Monster World 4. Monster World 5? The one with the girl, the one with Usher. I've not been able to play this yet. I mean the original version. You know, it was Japan exclusive for the longest time, and then it finally came out in English in 2012 or something as a WiiWare and Xbox Live game. And then they remade, the original person behind the Wonder Boy series remade this. Apparently the reviews were very mixed to negative on this one. So it's not a very good remake. I didn't get it on launch because the graphics just looked horrible on this one. What's the big selling point is exclusive bonus. Oh yeah, here it is. Monster World 4 is included in its English translated version. And because this is the Switch version, it's actually on the cartridge. This game also came out on PlayStation 4. And there, if I remember correctly, the original version is only DLC. It's not actually physically on the box. Now I don't need this. My main reason is I want this, right? The original game, and then compared. I don't need this. I got the Strictly Limited run thing for the Wonder Boy series. Like, they made a Wonder Boy collection a while ago. And Monster World 4 is in there in English too. So this is pretty redundant, but I thought I have basically all the Wonder Boy games and Monster World and spin-offs like Monster Boy that came out on the Switch, so I wanted to complete the collection. 10 euros, not a bad deal, so couldn't pass that up. The next one is the game I've been, really after, but 30 euros always felt like a bit too much. Now it was down to 15, so I got it, Air Twister. Let's check this out. Am I still recording? Let me double check that. I'm still recording. Fantastic. Yu Suzuki, the newest game. This is kind of a spiritual sequel to Space Harrier, the original Sega game. One of my favorites of that era. And I wanted to check this out. It started out as an Apple Arcade game for the iPhone and iPad. And it was brought over to consoles last year or so. It is supposed to be very arcadey, very simple, but I'm not against that. I'm a fan of that and I want to check it out. It's a spiritual sequel to one of my favorite games. It is made by Yu Suzuki, and I'm always thinking like every money I can give him goes into Shenmue 4 in some way, you know? Maybe he definitely wants to do Shenmue 4. If it's actually happening, who knows? But he made this. I thought it looked good. The cover is one of the ugliest things, and the render of the main character. One of the ugliest things I've seen in a long time. But the game itself doesn't look too bad, actually. Fan of that, I like that, I want to try this out. 15 euros, and I got another one for 20. A game I've been looking for a while, because it's one of my favorite developers, actually, in recent years. Even though their games are not really original, they are very high quality and always top-notch compared to everything else on the market, basically. That is Pocky and Rocky Reshrined. Now, I don't have any big connection to the Pocky and Rocky games. I know it's very big. This is a remake of not the arcade game, but of the Super Nintendo, like Natsume sequel. This is made by Tango Project, which is a development team within Natsume Atari. Now don't get it confused, Natsume, who you know for the Harvest Moon games, has nothing to do with Natsume Atari. They split up like in the 90s or even 80s, so a long time ago, so they don't have anything to do with each other. The Adventures of Pocky and Rocky Tango Project. I have a game of theirs that is Ninja Warrior, or it has some new name, Ninja Savior Return of the Warrior. Because apparently they lost the rights, the license to the Ninja Warrior games at some point. And that one is fantastic. Like if you want a nice side-scrolling action game, Ninja Savior Return of the Warrior is the one for you to get. And I've been looking at this. I'm not a big shooter fan, that is the thing. And this one looks like a Zelda top-down game, but it's actually a shooting game. I've played the Super Nintendo game quite a bit on an emulator. I couldn't get very far, but I can see the quality. Excited to check this out, actually. I've been wanting to get this for an eternity. It's always been on sale for like 20. I always thought like, I can get it for less. ININ games, they don't really go out of print. You know, they have their limited print label that they're using for that stuff. These games are on sale all the time, cheap all the time. But for 20, I finally pulled the trigger, because on their online shop, you know, these two together were 25, and shipping was, I think, 5 or 6 euros. So in order to, you know, make it worth it, I got another game. So the shipping makes sense. Girl math, right? That's what they call it nowadays. Let's check out Air Twister. I want to check this one out first and get the cartridge into my Switch so we can do a quick bit of gameplay. Super excited for this. I'm interested to do some score runs if it works out well. The game is actually good. I've heard very positive things about it. Oh, it looks like a manual. It's probably just so, you know, don't swallow the cartridge kind of deal. Let's see. Oh no, it's actually a manual. Look at this. 2025. That's the manuals we are getting. All right, and we got a cartridge. It actually has a different cover on there. Can you see this? I'm not sure if the camera is focusing on that, but it got a different cover and has nothing to do with the ugly cover in the front. Pretty nondescript, like I wouldn't be able to tell what game this is, not even the text on the like Air Twister, barely readable. But we are going to put this into the Switch Lite now, not Switch Lite, Switch OLED, only the best for you, and we'll check out some gameplay. Okay, here we go, out with the old, in with the new. Time for some Air Twister. Oh yeah, that cover is even uglier than the one on the front cover. Like, I'm so happy they didn't use that one either. Oh, you can see me. Hi. Let's check out some gameplay. Like, I've been super excited. I don't know if you're a fan of old Sega games. I mean, if you're a subscriber of this channel, you're probably interested in it in some way. Create a new save. Yes, please. So if you're a fan of Space Harrier, this is probably the game to get. I really like this. Let's see. We are not going to watch any intro cutscenes. I want to get right to the action. I should have read the... Are we even getting a practice level for... Let's skip that too. I can do this. You're not going to get any in-depth gameplay in this one. Get ready! It's very Space Harry. Harry? Oh, okay, we have a lock on now. That's a good one. Space Harrier did not have that. It definitely is something that the later sequels to Space Harrier, something like Panzer Dragoon, introduced. Enjoying the graphics so far. They are very simple. I mean, it is an iPhone game. Now, question, do we have a star? Nice. I don't know what the stars do. So, let's see if we can lock on to these. Have you played this game before? If so, what do you think about it? Like, I'm planning to like go full on in and play this game. I am one of the few people who was actually a big fan of the Panzer Dragoon remake that we got a while ago. And I'm eagerly waiting for the Panzer Dragoon 2 remake that they are working on. And now I know a lot of people were not big fans of that, but I enjoyed it and I thought it was well worth the money that I paid for it. I got the physical release by the publisher in, I think it was a Polish publisher. If you have the limited run version, actually you have an incomplete game if you have the Panzer Dragoon remake on physical cartridge, because that is only version 1.0. They really majorly updated the Panzer Dragoon remake to version 2.0, improved a lot of the controls and mechanics in the game. So if you have only played the old version of the Panzer Dragoon remake, I highly recommend updating that one. And if it's still available, I'm not sure if it's limited or something. The Panzer Dragoon remake has a physical release in Europe. In my experience, it was rather hard to find. But I don't think it was a limited release. So probably on the website of the developer and publisher, whose name I cannot remember, you can get that. But we are talking about another rail shooter in this version, in this video, about Air Twister. Now we are in the desert level. Of course we are. It is a Space Harrier sequel, after all. I must say, it is a lot slower. This is more Panzer Dragoon pace than Space Harrier pace, so far. And the lockdown, like I have to get used to it. Like I'm locking on and then I have to press the button again to actually shoot. Releasing the button does not shoot automatically, like in like RAS, Panzer Dragoon, you know, games of that sort. Oh no, it's getting pretty hectic over here. Let's see. I'll definitely look at the little... Ah, okay, it locks on automatically. I don't even have to hold down the button. It does it automatically. Okay, that makes sense. That makes the controls a lot better. I only have to press the button in order to shoot. I don't know if there are multiple control settings, but I like this one. It's more about comboing, I think, than actually getting through the level. Definitely a lot more Panzer Dragoon vibes, even with the music in the background. I don't know how well you can hear that, but it's more about comboing, I think. One of the big addictions in games like RAS, you know, getting the combo timer up. Another boss. Let's defeat him and finish the video afterwards. The Skull Dragon. That's what I call him. I call him Mikey. Oh no, that's not the boss. That's the boss. The cutscenes are pretty nice. Oh no, I get a new like dragon bird. All right. Now is it a boss fight? It is. Oh, multiple Mikeys. Not bad. I'm enjoying this. Graphics are pretty nice. I'm enjoying this right now. I'm definitely not disappointed so far. I know a lot of people were not as positive about this game because it is very arcadey. You know, after Shenmue from Yu Suzuki, Shenmue 3, they're getting another arcade style game. Of course, he needs to make money for his company somehow. They cannot just make big open world money things that don't make any money. By the way, the news came out a while ago that ININ got the licensing rights to publish Shenmue 3 on newer consoles. They said it's coming to Nintendo consoles. What that means, I don't know. I would guess the Nintendo Switch 2. I don't think it will run very well on Nintendo Switch 1. But I'm excited to get Shenmue 3 again. Like, I'm going to buy that game as many times as it takes before Shenmue 4 comes out. I'm still hopeful. I still want it. I was a fan of Shenmue 3. I knew what I was getting into as well. I knew it wouldn't be the end of the story. We have known this since like Shenmue 1, so it's really no surprise there. And what I really didn't mind either, that it was less action-packed, less stuff to do. It was more in the vein of Shenmue 1, which was also announced way back then when Shenmue 3 or Shenmue 2 came out, that Shenmue 3 will go back to the roots in that regard. So we finished that level. Thank you very much for watching. Have you played, finished, liked any of these games? Let me know in the comments. See you then.